Hello, lovelies.
Hi.
We're reunited.
Happy February.
Yeah.
You remember us, the Sunshine and Star.
Yes. And you also remember how last week I interviewed Parker, and now my shooting star is back because she's made her round trip as a Haley Comet and landed here again.
Always. I love it. That's so clever.
Yes. And today we just want to give you a little update on how our semesters have been here at High Point University, the extraordinary life skills.
In an
University.
inspiring environment with caring people.
Caring
Very
people.
caring people, too. Loving, might I add.
Yes.
Classy, too.
So, Lauren, I'd like to start with you.
Oh.
For your grand return, I'm going to feature you a lot, you know?
Well, thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate that. So, my semester this so far, I really can't complain. It's been very rewarding. I'm really pursuing more things that I've been passionate about, especially with All Access, my gospel choir, BCA, and everything. I'm also excelling in all my classes, which is great. For some reason, I feel like second semester is always easier than first semester. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's the classes or anything, but yeah.
I think it's more of a thing where after summer, it's kind of the initial thing of, oh, I have to get back to this routine of attending classes.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you're taking the winter break, it's still somewhat more fresh on your mind, the routine of it all. So I think that has to play with it. I mean, that's what I'm assuming anyway.
I agree, but I just feel like once we approach the last several weeks of school, where finals are approaching, that's when people are like mentally checked out. I know, like I am usually.
Even the professors.
Yeah.
Even they'll like full on admit it too, which is hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, give me my paycheck, I'm out of here.
Yeah. They're like, you feel stressed? Well, I do too. It's like, yay, relatable.
And I feel so bad because they have to do all that grading and everything.
Oh, I know.
So.
Like, we could just take the test and we're done, and we're just praying we did well enough. But they have to actually grade all of them for each of us. Like, this is why I'm not becoming a teacher.
Same. Mm-hmm. Or if I did, it would be like an elementary school teacher.
Oh, yeah. Or like something for like PE where you don't have to grade papers.
Right.
For sure.
Well, now let's pass it on to you. How has your semester been so far, Sunshine?
Gosh, you flatter me too much, golly.
I try. That's what I do. That's what I do best. One of the things I do best.
Oh, yeah, one of many.
One of many.
But to actually answer the question, I've been doing well. I've been getting into a lot of things, like Lauren said, where I'm very passionate about it and actually formulating the time to fit it in to where it was one of those things where I'd say I want to do it but never actually had the chance to, but now I'm not making that an excuse in the sense of being in a time in my life where I can make time for those things that I wanted to, but now I actually can.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very long-winded way of saying that I hopefully will hear back soon for a job position at a radio station for being a promoter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. We really should get that. You deserve it.
Because obviously he hasn't lost interest because it's been a few weeks since we talked about it. The main reason I don't have it officially either way, the job offer yet, is because since it is through the radio station, there's regulations such as the FCC and other organizations that he has to, in addition with HR or human resources, has to pass through official channels in order to officially offer me the job, which, even though I'm not technically going to be on air right away, like, I get that there's regulations like that, and I feel kind of bad for him, because when he was explaining that to me over email? Can I talk today?
You're trying.
I'm trying, you're right, yeah.
Give her a break. It's been a long week.
Honestly, though. But a good, fulfilling week nonetheless, though it's been long for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, I just am grateful that he is still obviously showing interest in me even having a position there, or else he wouldn't have made sure to state why it's taking as long as it has. Because he also probably wouldn't put in the effort if he still didn't think I'd fit well within the station. So, fingers crossed that it works out.
Always.
And also, I got, since my birthday's kind of close to Christmas, my birthday's in January, I call most of the gifts I get around that time of year, like Christmas/present, Christmas, birthday, whatever. And one of those gifts was a camera. So I've been testing that out. It's been a lot of fun. And actually, before you came, our friend Nikki, she actually called me and wanted me to take pictures. not even knowing that I got my camera, but I'm like, well, perfect, this is a great opportunity to use it.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of fun practicing with it because I'm so used to using my phone. As you can tell with the fact I'm still using it to record this.
Yeah.
But it's just so cool to learn different techniques and lighting, and of course the campus is beautiful. There's plenty of material to practice with here.
For sure, and like the whole view and the landscape, it's just exquisite.
Honestly.
Yeah, we said that simultaneously.
You owe me a soda.
You owe me a milkshake.
But I like that. I like that.
I like that too. You can tell we think alike.
But it's just been great. And also, I feel like I've had just that much more time to dedicate to choir and my music lessons because I feel that I've gotten a lot better, though I'm still busy, granted, of not saying yes to every single thing that might be a great opportunity, because I've always had a bad habit of doing that, especially being an only child, where it's like, well, it's not like I have a sibling that can kind of guinea pig test it out, if you will, to see if it's like possibly a great fit for me or whatever. I had to kind of figure that out all on my own in a lot of ways. So learning to say no to some things, even if it would be great, or maybe just not yet, but truly maybe later. And not just a maybe later where you're putting it off, but more just of a timing type thing, to not have everything all at once. I've gotten a lot better about that too, so I feel a lot less stressed than I have in the past for sure. And I hope that continues and I don't forget this lesson, which is also why I'm saying it, so I can replay this episode and be like, remember you said that. And also you to witness it, so you can remind me too.
And I like how you're saying like you're learning to not say yes to everything because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. I think that's something like I need to practice as well, because I'm just gonna be honest. I don't care if I'm saying this on camera. Honestly, some of the activities I'm involved in are beginning to stress me out. And I know this is supposed to be a very positive and uplifting show, but I just believe that this is my year to fully just remain in touch with how I'm feeling and just be open and honest about what it is I'm going through. So although I'm grateful for all the opportunities I have, I feel like in recent weeks it's gotten to the point where it's started to have a like very pernicious effect on my mental health, to the point where I was like stressed out and anxious, and I still am, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. And like when people would ask me if I'm okay, I tell them yes, because I don't want to worry them, but really I'm not okay. But it's hard to articulate that because everyone has such high expectations for me, and I don't want to let people down. But I want to like learn that it's okay to say no, because I have to like look out for myself first and foremost. Yeah. So I'm glad you actually said that, because that's been weighing on my mind actually for a while.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that was me bringing that up. That's helped you to open up about that happening in your life as well.
Yeah.
And I can literally tell you from experience, I can relate, obviously. And honestly, I feel like I'm close enough to you to know that when you say you're fine but not really fine, it's kind of like that meme, you know? But I can truly tell if when you say that you're not. So that's why I kept texting you, like, are you really sure you're fine? You know, like.
Oh, thank you. And that's how you know you have a true friend, because, and likewise too, because like when you truly care about your friends, and then you'll know when something is not right.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. You
You're
can
just
just
like, something's amiss.
Yeah, you might not know what it is, but you can sense it.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Something's in the air.
Yeah.
And it's not love, it's anxiety.
No. If it's not love, then you know something's up. Yep, God is not the author of anxiety.
Exactly. It's so funny you bring that up, because I just finished on my Bible app, the U version, not sponsored, a Charles Stanley devotion, and it literally talked about anxiety. So it's so funny that you brought that up, that God doesn't bring it on, because that's one of the points he was driving home, is that even though just in general, when things don't go your way in life, or you're confused about why something came up you couldn't control, and you have anxieties and concerns and worries over it, it's not from God, because God cannot sin and he doesn't instigate it. That's all Satan, and Satan does everything he can to make sure that you blame God instead of him. Whether you believe he exists or not, he still uses that method to make sure to distract you from the root of anxiety. And God does the opposite. He wants you to come to him and pray to him and take your worries away. And whether you believe in God or not, that whoever listens to this, obviously we're not going to judge you, because we have no right to.
No.
But just in general, going to someone you trust, whether it is spiritually or like a counselor or something, just anything like that, even a close friend or family member, and you talk to them about your worries and concerns, and you're just very open and honest, and it's someone who you know will help you bring out the root of the problem and not just say what you think that you need to hear, but that you actually truly do need to hear, then it just helps alleviate that worry and anxiety and lets you know that there's at least one other person that will be there for you. And I definitely feel like we can definitely be there for each other.
Of course,
so.
yeah. And to add on to what you're saying, don't ever feel the need to suppress any negative emotions you might be feeling inside to the point where, God forbid, it escalates to the point where you end up having a breakdown or a panic attack, because there are people out there who really truly care and who want you to do well and who want you to be okay, not only physically but mentally, psychologically. So just understand that your feelings matter, and you have to be honest with yourself about how you're feeling and whatever it is you might be experiencing. And you're not alone either.
Exactly. One of the biggest lies I've even noticed in my life as well, other than just it being preached all the time as a thing to say, but it truly is that the feeling that you are alone and that no one can relate, even if you kind of consciously know someone else can go through anxiety in general, but you don't think anyone can relate directly to what you're going through or even empathize at all, whether they have been in the exact same position before or whether if they haven't, they can still be empathetic and sympathetic towards you. One of the biggest lies is to have that mindset that either no one can relate, that no one will truly care, or that no one will be able to truly help you. Like, those kind of are intertwined and are some of the biggest, I guess, obviously not all self-deprecating thoughts are involved in those, but a lot I feel can derive from that mindset of like those three statements.
And I can say that for me personally, one of the reasons why I found it difficult throughout my life to open up to people is because it's so hard to meet genuine people who truly care about you and who actually want to be around you just for you. Because I feel like in many of my relationships, like whether it's like a casual relationship or a friendship, I felt like I was the one who was like always reaching out to them and, you know, making more of an effort to connect, but it wasn't really reciprocal on their part. Because like, as I mentioned in some of our previous podcasts, I've met so many people in my life who only wanted to get close to me or be around me just to exploit me or, you know, disrespect me. And like at the time, I was under the impression that it was okay and it was normal until I ended up getting hurt in the end, and it left me feeling very depressed and, you know, dejected for a long time. So that's something I've like learned a lot too, that I have to surround myself with people who I know truly care about me as a person and actually like want to be around me just for me.
Oh shucks, when you said care about me and stuff and you looked over at me, I'm like, oh. Yeah, you looked at me when you said that, like caring people, like, you know, I'm like, oh.
Well, I know you care.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
One of the few people. And one of the few people I actually trust.
Shucks. I mean, same to you, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, it is important to be surrounded by that, and it may seem very obvious, well, yeah, duh, but I feel that obviously I can't speak too much from experience in the sense of being like, oh yeah, I went through this, but I feel that as a general rule that it makes it that much harder to get over anxiety if you are surrounded by people who are very toxic and kind of reinforce the mindset that you're in as to either not addressing it or believing that it's okay for you to still be in it because they're just used to you being like that, so they just then think it's part of your personality, that kind of thing, which anxiety should never be a characteristic that defines a person in the sense where it's like, oh, they're just very standoffish and anxious all the time, acting like it's part of who they are and part of their characteristic as a person. Everyone goes through anxiety to some extent. The biggest difference of whether it's noticeable or not is just how they handle it. And sadly, a lot of people don't truly know how to handle anxiety in a way that's a healthy way to address it. And I honestly can speak for myself that I've definitely not handled anxiety to the best of my ability that I could have at a lot of times. And it is a lot easier when you have a better mindset about yourself and your life and you feel that you've gotten over a huge hump with anxiety to say, oh yeah, you can get over it. But the fact that you even are striving to get out of anxiety and better yourself and hope that you will have a better mindset one day, that in and of itself means that you're not giving up on yourself. And I think that with toxic thoughts anxiety can bring to the point where it can even affect your health, like physically, to even diseases and even things like acne, just simple as that, that it just goes to show that people who think that they can never get out of it, not necessarily giving up, but more just accepting that that's how they're thinking, it's just very unfortunate. And especially in like the Western society, because I can't speak for Eastern society or any other countries, obviously, but I'm sure it's the case everywhere. But at least from the US perspective, I can say that we don't really handle talking about mental health that well at all, because the internet uses it as a way to kind of troll people and assume that they're just doing it for attention or whatever. So people think that they can't really express who they are and address the issues, and it's also kind of frowned upon to say you're going to a counselor, because people can also clown on you for that. And it's just a very unfortunate effect about society. Obviously, it's okay to poke fun at certain things, but it shouldn't be to the point where you feel like you can't at all get help.
Right, and when I've also done research that specifically in the Black community, many people refrain from seeking professional help from a psychiatrist or a therapist because it is deemed as a form of weakness if they do that. And that's if anyone who wants to label them as weak or impossible or anything like that, it's very ignorant actually, because you don't know what a person is going through unless you've actually walked in their moccasins. So it's not for anyone else to judge you or reprimand you for reaching out for help when you know you need to. So don't ever be afraid or don't feel ashamed to reach out for professional help, because they actually might be able to. And that's the thing, God puts people in our lives who can help us too.
Yeah, true. Whether it is like a parent you really trust or a friend or professional help, he places them in your life for a reason, knowing that as much as you obviously should, if you do believe in God, believe that even though he's not physically here, spiritually he's always there for you. He's also very much well aware that we as humans love human contact, so he places specific people in our life to physically, face-to-face talk to someone that can still help us and guide us in ways that align with his teachings. And again, even if you don't believe in the Lord, it still doesn't mean that you can't get help and that you have to live in such a tragic way of thinking, honestly, because we both can definitely attest, even though we're trying to do better and consistently find ways to healthily cope with anxiety, that and also when we do fall back and revert into that mindset to try to find ways to pull ourselves out of it faster, that kind of thing. Not to say you should speed up, obviously, but more just so that we don't ruminate in it for too long, kind of thing.
Right, and healing is a gradual process too. So I think what I've noticed with certain people is specifically people who are insecure or who have been through a lot, they will surround themselves with people who they believe that they are there to help them and heal and everything. And I think I talked about this in one of our previous episodes. This is especially prevalent among narcissists and those types of relationships, because a person will enter your life and you're under the impression that they genuinely care about you. They're the best thing that's ever happened to you. You think you're compatible in so many regards, and you feel like no one else really understands you the way that they do. So what I think unconsciously you become codependent on them, because you feel that you cannot survive like without them. And what I mean by that is obviously you can, but you feel that you need them to feel validated and fulfilled. And without them, you're going to feel lost, insecure, depressed. So, but people don't realize that those types of relationships are not healthy, and the narcissists themselves only care about one person, and that's the person in the mirror. And all they're doing is like there's always an ulterior motive. They're just trying to gain your trust to end up hurt you in the end. And so I've seen this happen before, and I don't want to see that happen to anyone else. So I feel like I want to use this as a platform to help educate people about certain characteristics to spot whenever you meet someone. And always remember, it takes time to develop a relationship. You have to see us people in a variety of settings and scenarios, and don't overlook any negative qualities, because if you do, then it's just a matter of time before you end up on the receiving end of whatever that might be.
I'm sorry, but when you mentioned how a relationship is, like a two-way street, basically.
Yeah, reciprocal, for sure.
I was thinking a relationship's not like the band One Direction.
Yes! How about that?
Although they broke up and went many directions, but that's beside the point. Yeah. I'm sorry, my mind's weird.
Oh yeah, they went in several directions: north, south, east, west, you name it. We don't even know where they are anymore.
They don't even know. No, I'm kidding.
No, they don't.
But that's very valid point. And I also want to transition to a lighter topic, because I also feel that as important as it is with addressing anxiety and things like that, that also to show those who maybe are watching this and are going through that you still can have fun moments in life, even if you feel that at the time they're fleeting. So I want us to talk about some things we're looking forward to. So what are you looking forward to in the future? Like, it didn't have to be, like in 5 years, but like in this semester, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I know that next Saturday, the Black Student Union is having a gala, which is in Jamestown, and I'm super excited. I got my dress a few days ago, so I can't wait for that.
I bet you're gonna look stunning, darling.
Thank you. I'm also super psyched for spring break too, because I'm still in the process of applying for summer internships. And when I go home, I want that time to just decompress, spend time on the golf course, in the pool, or at the beach with my friends, and with my family, of course.
So I'm gonna be in your luggage, cool.
Yeah, I'd love for you to come visit.
But that sounds great. What summer internships are you hoping to get?
Well, hopefully at Fox 13, which is a local news station in Tampa, which is where I'm from. And if not, I'd also be interested in applying for internships with newspapers, magazines, radio stations, because I want to expand my horizon.
Yes,
right? Because starting out in your career, you don't really you think you have an idea of what you want to pursue and where you want to end up, but you never know where life will take you. And different jobs can expose you to, career paths that you never would have considered otherwise. So always keep an open mind, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to sound like someone from the Career Center here at High Point, but I feel that internships really do help you gain true appreciation of what it actually would be like working and where you think you want to go. Because then you can also use that as a way to decide, oh, I thought it was going to be this, but actually I'd be more interested in this particular niche thing and maybe not exactly what I thought, that sort of thing. And it can help pivot you in a way where even if it's a paid internship, you don't have to worry about transferring jobs and that kind of thing. You find out much sooner in the process.
Right, and you also gain practical knowledge through the experience that you can apply to your aspired profession, or if you choose to pursue a different career, you can still apply the same skills and knowledge to different aspects of that job as well.
Very true. Even if you feel like something that you've gained from an internship and you completely pivot career choices doesn't transfer, it can in a way that'll very much surprise you.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Very indeed. That's a website actually, Indeed.com.
I know,
yeah.
Well, I'm very familiar with it because my mom used to use it a lot when she was transferring from different stores and within the sales industry. So
yeah, it's very beneficial.
Indeed.
Ah!
We're cringy, sorry. I also am excited for the upcoming choir events, honestly, because Family Weekend I think it's now a couple of weekends ago officially, but it was so much fun. And I really wish, because there was 3 different choirs, that the Genesis choir that you're a part of was also a part of it, but sadly we didn't share the stage.
I wish we had, though.
I know, because we're both in like gospel choirs, and that she's in Genesis and I'm in chapel choir. So we got them soul singing
Maybe
sisters.
next year.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm looking very much forward to that. Also, my mom doesn't know this, so hopefully she won't see this episode till much later in the semester.
Fingers crossed.
But I am singing a couple songs she wanted me to sing as part of my private music lessons. And the end of the semester, there's always a recital to share with everyone else that takes the same instructor. So there's like multiple instructors, and whoever has, like let's say mine, Candace Burrows, amazing, love her. She feels like the aunt I've never had, even though I have aunts, but it's so cool.
I'm sure she'd be honored to hear you say that.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully she's watching this now, right?
Yeah, you hear that?
But I can't wait to pick one of the two of the songs that my mom really wanted me to practice and sing it, and hopefully my mom can be there. Hopefully she can get time off work, as well as my dad, and bring up my grandma, and my dad, grandma, and I can just all surprise her with, hey, this is one of the songs you wanted me to practice, and now I'm singing it, kind of thing. I feel like that's going to be so much fun.
I think so too. They'll be so proud of you. I already am.
Oh, shucks. And just in general, doing these podcasts, honestly, I always look forward to them, whether it's the one with my darling Star, or if it's the one that I do with my boys at the Hangover podcast that I moderate. It's just, I always look forward to them so much. Every weekend when I do both of them, whether it's the same day or not, it's just so much fun, and I'm so blessed to have all the friends that I do in my life to make them possible. So
yes, and I love being able to spend quality time with you, because I feel like since our schedules are so different and so busy, we don't really see each other as much as we used to.
Yeah,
which makes me sad.
I know, like we're both in the same major as far as communications in general,
just different departments.
Yeah, so you'd think in the generalized sense we'd see each other all the time, but we don't. And it's so sad.
I think we had like one class, and that was last year. We had media law and literacy.
Oh my god.
And we've had like some other class. We've had the same classes before, but different times.
Yeah, different sections. Yeah, for sure. Tragic.
Very tragic. Devastating. I could cry. If I didn't laugh about it, I have to cry.
For real. I feel like that's why also comics can be so relatable. Very much a random tangent, I know. But it's because a lot of their humor is derived from like tough times they go through and they make light of it, and just in general things that happen in real life, which is why we laugh, because like, that's so true though.
Speaking of comics, I don't know why, but that made me think of an episode of SpongeBob where like Sandy was hibernating, and like remember she was dreaming about Dirty Dan and Pinhead Larry, and SpongeBob and Patrick were like trying to figure out about that, and she said, "You're nothing but pure evil, just like newspaper comics." Are newspaper comics evil?
I mean, depending on what the cartoon artist has the cartoon characters themselves do, possibly, but I don't think the comics themselves are, but that's a really funny take.
Maybe in Texas, that's where she's from.
Texas, everything's bigger in Texas.
Yep.
I hope we didn't just alienate anyone from Texas who may be watching.
No offense. you didn't hear that. You're from Texas.
I'm from North Carolina, so I have every right to be like y'all and do the country accent. So I have that get out of free jail card, if you will.
I'm from Florida. We're not your typical southern state from a cultural standpoint, but geographically we still are.
Yeah. Why are we like that?
I don't know. God made us this way.
Yes, I wouldn't change it though.
I wouldn't either.
I love our goofball dynamic.
I love it too.
Yay!
They make life so much better.
And we hope you guys do too.
Yes. So thank you for watching. We're so glad that it's a new semester and a new year. We get to inspire you some more. So stay abreast because we have plenty more episodes in store for you.
Oh, for sure, darlings.
Always.
Always.
So be happy. And my other advice would be just don't be afraid to pursue your dreams.
Amen. Because you're guaranteed not to get them if you don't even try.
Right, what she said.
Ta-ta, darling.
Later.